What's going on, guys? RPF Garage here, and today we're doing some work on the S14. We're going to go ahead. We got to pull the motor out. Well, not completely out. Not going to pull the motor today, but at least I can do a lot of the unbolting and all the wires, all of them. Undo. Well, I'm gonna leave the distributor and the wires in, but everything else, intake, all that, all them jimmies over there, the injectors, my MAF, my igniter, fuel lines, brake booster, stuff of that nature. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take the hood off. I'm gonna run over to the other side of the shop, back over yonder. I'm gonna go grab my toolbox and we're gonna get right into this thing. Nice thing about an S14 is everything's a 10 mil or a 14 mil. So let's get it. Alright, so just like that. Motor's ready to come out. Everything's disconnected. I usually don't take the radiator out. I probably will for this one just because the RB20 is going back in, but I usually never take the radiator out because I have enough room to do everything. Everything is unplugged. All the wiring harness is right there. Literally, that's everything. AC feed, or wait, no, this is AC return. AC feed is right there. And my power steering feed line, which is here. And then this is my power steering to my rack. So, coolant's off, intake's off, throttle cable's off, which is hanging right there. Let's see what else. Come on, focus. Come on, Jimmy. Okay, so throttle cable's off right there. Whole wiring harness, all my injectors are unplugged. My coolant temperature gauge and my oil pressure gauge. My fuel lines, all these wires, I don't know. Let me see. I don't know why those are all cut. That was cut when I got the car. Coolant to my heater core is unplugged. Battery's out. The ECU's unplugged. And yeah, that should be it. Man, this motor is so dirty it makes it look like the camera's out of focus. Yeah, the whole motor is ready to come out other than the fact, you know, drive shaft, but I do not take the drive shaft, like I don't unbolt the drive shaft from the diff because since it is an R32 diff, it is actually really, or Z32 diff, sorry. It's a Z32 diff with an R32 drive shaft, which is not ideal because what happens is when you put those two together, the bolts are so tight, so close to the actual drive shaft that you can't get a socket in there, you can't get a wrench in there. It's really close, like within a hair's width. So with that being said, I don't undo the drive shaft from the diff. I pull it out from the from the transmission, and how I do that is I undo my motor mounts. I put my stuff up there. Like right now, my motor mounts are still in there and tightened just because I'm getting it close to being pulled. Everything's unhooked. It just needs motor mount hooked up to it and go. You hook your cherry picker, engine puller, engine hoist, whatever you want to call it. You hook it up to it. You start jacking it up, and as you're pulling it out, it actually pulls the drive shaft out from the trans, which is what you do. You'd undo it from the diff, and you would swing it down and pull it out from the trans. I don't do that because of the reason that I was saying with the bolts. So I just pull the motor until I hear clunk on the ground, then it's ready. There's no real easy way to pull a motor. I mean, there is, but there isn't. As far as like getting trans fluid everywhere, it's going to be a mess. The only thing you could really do is have someone up on top with manning the hoist and having someone underneath the car moving the pickup can of some sort, you know, on the ground right behind the trans so it doesn't leak everywhere. Because as soon as you pull that drive shaft out, fluid goes everywhere. So it's probably better to do that, but at least, you know, we got the motor all ready. This is your fuel feed right here, and then this is your return on this, or that's backwards. Feed, return. So this one goes here from the fuel filter that's down there. Then this one goes back into your tank, right here. Pull them out, and you're good to go. I undid my my fuel pressure regulator, or just like the vacuum source that comes off of the chassis there. But yeah, she's about ready to come out. I don't have the cherry picker here. It's over at my buddy Aaron's house, which I still have to go get that, but in his video, if you go over to his channel, which is Native Works, you'll see that we put the whole we put the fuel tank back in, put a new fuel pump in it. The cradle with the new diff, we put all that stuff back together. He had to run the Minot while I was finishing up. I put the driver's side and the passenger side, all the components for, you know, upper control arm, ball joints, the coilovers, the axles bolts or nuts, the brakes, all that stuff. So he had to go to Minot while I did that. I did show on his channel me doing that, but the problem we're running into, that a Corvette has 2 tanks and it has a fuel pump on each tank, and they are we replaced the, let's see, what side was that? The driver's side. We replaced the driver's side fuel pump, then found out that the passenger side fuel pump is actually the one that was bad. So either he or we are going to put a new fuel pump in that side. So, but I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a video. I wanted to come out here and I wanted to get my motor ready to be pulled. It's almost dark, so yeah, nothing really you can do there, but yeah, so motor's almost done. I've said that again and then again and again. Motor's all ready to be pulled. All it's missing is the motor mounts and the trans bracket mount, and we're done. Everything's done. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see me pulling the rest of K8 out, hit that subscribe button. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.